The morning started like normal until one news story shocked the car world. Stories came out saying that Aaron Kaufman, the guy who used to be Richard Rawlings' best helper at Gas Monkey Garage, had filed a secret legal case against his old boss. The internet went crazy right away. Fans filled up comment boxes, gossip pages blew up, and rumors spread super fast. For years, people wondered why Kaufman left fast and loud when the show was really popular. Some thought he was just tired. Others whispered about not agreeing on ideas, but almost nobody thought there might be legal papers involved. Now, rumors said this was more than just two friends fighting. It was a battle about ownership, about getting credit, and about what really happened. The two men had built something huge together. The way they worked together, their crazy moments, and their cool personalities made Gas Monkey Garage super famous. But behind all the laughing and the car burnouts, problems were growing. Rawlings loved the big show, while Kaufman loved making great cars. The more famous they got, the bigger their problems became. People who knew them started saying that the end wasn't sudden. It was a slow fight. Arguments about money, branding, and who owned what ideas may have piled up for years, hidden under lots of contracts and TV network rules. Now those hidden things were starting to come out. Fans wanted to know the truth. Did Aaron really take his old boss to court? Was Gas Monkey's success built on more than just cool cars? Maybe on lies and broken deals? Or was this rumor just another fake story in reality TV, where what's real and what's made up get mixed together? Whatever happened, one thing was clear: something big had been hidden. And if this legal case was real, it could finally explain why two friends who built cars together turned into enemies so fast. Before all the drama and fights, something special existed. Gas Monkey Garage wasn't just a car shop. It was something magical, a real honest mix of skill, personality, and perfect TV timing. Richard Rawlings had the charm, the big dreams, and the non-stop energy to turn metal into money. Aaron Kaufman had the skills, the careful work, and the heart of someone who could turn junky old cars into amazing machines. Together, they couldn't be stopped. When Fast and Loud first showed on TV, viewers loved it immediately. Every show felt exciting, cars being rebuilt, deadlines almost missed, feelings turning into chaos. But what made it great wasn't just the cars, it was their friendship. Rawlings and Kaufman felt like real brothers. Fans saw the connection in every scene, the energy of two dreamers who somehow made it big. But even during those early successful days, problems started appearing. Richard saw television as business, a chance to build something that could last longer than the show itself. Aaron saw it as a place for great work, a place to try new things, not just make money. Their ideas were starting to crash into each other, quietly at first, then louder with every season. The bigger the show got, the harder it was to ignore the tension building behind the scenes. And as the money started coming in, so did the big egos, the tight deadlines, and the quiet anger. Gas Monkey's best time was just that, a shiny cover-up. The brightness was strong enough to hide the cracks underneath it. At some point, the dream became too heavy. Long nights, crazy schedules, and growing distance between loving the work and making money. Discovery Channel wanted drama, high ratings, and quicker car builds. Richard pushed for big shows. Aaron wanted quality. The two started fighting more often, sometimes quietly, sometimes not. Workers whispered about big arguments that never showed on TV. Whole projects were cancelled when fights exploded off camera. Cars were rushed to finish, not for good work, but for the cameras. Aaron's need for perfect work didn't fit the network's schedule, and it was slowly pushing him away. Then came the moment nobody saw coming. Without any warning, Aaron Kaufman was gone. No big farewell, no sweet goodbye, just an empty spot where the heart of Gas Monkey used to be. Viewers were shocked, and the network barely talked about it. Behind the scenes, people close to the show said Aaron had finally had enough. The creative freedom he once had was gone. The car builds he loved were now just TV products. What started as friendship had turned into fighting, but what people didn't see was what happened next. The silence. And silence in this business usually means one thing: lawyers. When the news about Aaron leaving came out, Gas Monkey Garage rushed to control the story. Press releases made it sound mutual. Interviews were very careful. Discovery avoided talking about it completely, but fans weren't believing it. Rumors started flying that things behind the scenes were far from friendly. Some said there were unpaid bonuses. Others whispered about rules for creative control and ownership fights buried in their contracts. Aaron stayed quiet, working on new projects, while Richard kept building his empire. New products, new shows, new deals. For years, both sides kept away from each other, and that silence only made the mystery deeper. People in the industry hinted that legal problems were building, secret agreements, can't talk about it rules, settlement offers that never came out. People close to the situation said it wasn't just a breakup, but a cover-up. A carefully handled separation meant to protect the brand, the show, and the money machine behind it. And if the rumors were true, the real problems weren't shown on TV. They were hidden in documents, buried in court papers, and sealed behind business walls. The question wasn't why Aaron left, it was what he took with him. As things calmed down from Aaron's quiet exit, something weird started showing up online. Legal fans and devoted viewers started searching, looking through public databases, business filings, and business records connected to Gas Monkey Garage. That's when whispers started about a possible can't-talk agreement tied to Aaron's leaving. Hidden documents, business filings, and sealed letters hinted at something way bigger than not agreeing on ideas. Some claimed they saw messages between Kaufman's lawyers and Gas Monkey Entertainment LLC. The mood, they said, was tense, suggesting a fight over who owned ideas, money owed, or unpaid pay from the show's most successful years. Others pointed to Aaron's sudden disappearance from official Gas Monkey products and reruns, as if his name had been quietly erased from the history he helped create. None of it could be proven, but together, the pieces started forming a dark picture. If true, it wasn't just a work split, it was a legal battle disguised as a friendship ending. Fans started asking the same question. Was Aaron silenced by contract or by his own choice? Each discovery led to another mystery. Each clue led back to money, and for the first time, people started wondering if Fast and Loud had buried more than just cars. It might have buried the truth. While Aaron stayed silent, Richard Rawlings moved quickly. In public, he ignored the rumors. Always smiling, always selling. He showed up in interviews, podcasts, and public events saying that Gas Monkey Garage was doing great, but careful listeners caught his tone. Small insults, hidden comments about loyalty, and people who couldn't handle being successful. During one interview, he mentioned that not everyone was ready for the business side of fame. Fans immediately connected the dots. It sounded personal, too personal. Online talks exploded with guesses that these shots were aimed right at Kaufman. But Richard didn't stop there. He kept expanding his empire. Restaurants, whiskey brands, new shows, all under the Gas Monkey name. Every move screamed confidence, but some saw it as distraction. The louder the success, the quieter the truth became. To his supporters, Rawlings was simply moving forward. To his critics, he was hiding things. And the deeper people looked, the clearer the pattern became. Every time an ex-worker spoke out, they seemed to disappear from the story. Contracts, secret agreements, reputations. Richard played the long game, and he played it well. Still, one question wouldn't go away. Was Aaron Kaufman just another victim of Richard's ambition, or the one who finally fought back? After walking away from Gas Monkey, Aaron Kaufman came back not as a celebrity, but as a craftsman. He started Arclight Fabrication, a safe place for builders, dreamers, and people who want perfection. His way of thinking was simple: slow down, build right, and never give up quality. When his new show, Shifting Gears, came out, fans immediately noticed the difference. The speed was calmer, the feeling more real, and the cars more personal. It wasn't about fame anymore, it was about freedom. But underneath that quiet strength, shadows stayed. People in the industry whispered that legal friction between Aaron and Gas Monkey still existed. Deals fell apart, partnerships stopped. Some sponsors reportedly backed out after lawyers got involved. Every time Aaron's name was connected to Gas Monkey, something happened behind the scenes. Emails went unanswered. Team-ups delayed. The message was clear. The past wasn't finished with him yet. For all his work to move forward, Aaron was still living under the long shadow of the garage that made him famous. The show was gone, but the tension was not. And the longer both men stayed silent, the more people began to think that the real story had never been told. Then came a discovery that brought everything back. A few fans searching through hard-to-find county databases found a sealed legal filing in Dallas County. No names were shown, but the connections were strange. Matching business groups tied to Gas Monkey's business structure. The timing matched up almost perfectly with Aaron's exit from Fast and Loud. It wasn't proof, but it was smoke. And where there's smoke, fans knew there was usually fire. Whispers started going around that the case might involve who owned ideas, questions over who owned the rights to specific car builds shown on the show, or even the designs and branding tied to Gas Monkey's image. One insider claimed that certain cars long thought to belong to the garage were actually credited to Aaron's original plans. The deeper people searched, the more weird coincidences showed up. Matching addresses, fake companies, and filings dated only weeks after Aaron's last appearance. The evidence was broken up, but the meaning was scary. If this sealed filing was connected to Kaufman, then the truth wasn't just being hidden, it was being legally protected. And in the end, that's what made fans question everything they'd ever seen on screen. Was Fast and Loud a story of friendship and passion, or a carefully edited empire built on silence? Away from the headlines and rumors, there was a human story that never showed on TV. Years of friendship built over broken tools and long nights were suddenly erased by fame. Old clips show two men laughing, finishing each other's sentences, creating magic in a dirty Dallas shop. But that brotherhood slowly turned into business, and business has no room for brotherhood. Behind closed doors, both men carried their own pain. Richard faced the pressure of keeping a worldwide brand that needed constant big shows. Aaron struggled with the pain of seeing something pure turn into acting. To the world, it looked like a clean break. To those who knew, it was heartbreak. Fans started arguing about who was really to blame. Some saw Richard as a mean businessman who burned friendships for profit. Others saw Aaron as too proud to compromise. But maybe both were victims of the same machine. The never-ending pressure of television fame. When creativity becomes money, trust is the first thing lost. And once it's gone, no amount of success can rebuild it. No official record of a legal case has ever been made public. No one from either side has confirmed it. But the trail of silence, secrecy, and changing loyalties tells its own story. Two men started with a dream to build cars and make people care about them. Along the way, the dream became an empire, and the empire demanded a price. Whether the lawsuit was real or not almost doesn't matter anymore. What matters is what it showed. About the cost of fame, how easily trust breaks, and the danger of turning passion into a product. Today, Richard Rawlings continues to grow the Gas Monkey brand, chasing bigger projects and louder headlines. Aaron Kaufman, on the other hand, keeps his distance, focused on great work, not cameras. The noise of television replaced by the sound of a single wrench turning in a quiet shop. Their paths will likely never cross again, but their story remains a lesson of loyalty lost, ambition tested, and how two men who built an empire together ended up standing on opposite sides of the same dream. Two garages, two histories, one truth that still hangs in the air. When the engine stopped roaring, the silence said everything.